Hello again. I have a race recap video for you today. So it was the second annual Hauppauge Fire Department 5K this year, which is my home race that I'm the race director for, also a member of the fire department. So I managed to win first responder again, and I'm going to have to order new medals for next year because I used them all up. So I got to come up with a new medal design. So I was actually able to come in 7th place this time out of 122 finishers. There was some fast people showed up this year. The person who won the race was a 29-year-old male running 5:34 mile pace. Finished in 17:17, so he was cooking. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my friend Rich Strom, who came in 2nd place. He's 32, and he averaged a 5:39 pace, running a 17:33. So he was really flying. I ended up running it in 19:37, so I broke 20 minutes, which was the first time I've done that in a little while. So that was a good result for me, running 6:19 mile pace. Now, the race may have been a little bit short. Maybe we were missing that 0.1 in there, but I'm still going to count it. It says 5K in the shirt, so that's what it was, right? But I ended up running a 6:42 for the first mile. The second mile, there's a bit of a decent hill in there, and then you come down the hill on the back end. So I slowed down on the hill to 6:45 and then closed with the 6:13 mile. I was able to get up to 4:36 mile pace at the end there. So I managed to do my trademark strong finish in the ASICS Metaspeed Edge Paris. And I also want to mention someone else in this video who is now my running hero. This guy, Pao Wang, which is also a great name, but he's over 60 years old. And I see this guy at every race on Long Island, and he's consistently running amazing paces, not just for his age, but just in general. He'll run 5Ks in 21 minutes, sub 20 minutes in his 60s. He actually came in 9th place, running 19:42. So I beat him by 5 seconds. He was running 6:21 mile pace, and I'll show the video here at the finish line. This is something that's pretty funny too. I actually had to have a strategy for how to beat this 60-year-old guy. Something that's pretty funny too is I saw that he registered for this race. He ran it last year as well. He does almost every race on Long Island. All this guy does is run races. But I saw over the summer that he was running a lot of 20-minute, 21-minute 5Ks, and I knew that was pretty much right where I was at as well. And I'm like, I know he's a great runner, but I don't want to lose to this guy who's 20 years older than me. So when the race started, I'm like, all right, here's my plan. I'm going to stay behind him. I'm going to make sure it's within striking distance, and then when I get to that last 400 meters, I'm going to get after it because I know I have that closing speed. So I was able to pass him at the finish line, but that's really saying something that I have to come up with the strategy to beat a 60-year-old. So kudos to Pao Wang. He's an amazing runner and a great guy. Look at that smile as he crosses the finish line here. We had over 130 runners participate in the race this year. We had a band there that did a great job. Shout out to the mixtape band. They were awesome. And it was just a fun atmosphere overall. Progressive physical therapy was there, stretching runners out. I think people really enjoyed having that at the finish line. And this shoe did a great job again. This is my short distance race shoe of choice. I think it's the best short distance racing shoe that I've ever used. What's amazing about this shoe, as I've said in other videos, it's a max stack shoe that's legal for the marathon, but it's so lightweight. This is the lightest shoe that I have. It's under 8 ounces in a men's size 12, which is incredibly light for this much stack in a shoe. So you're able to get all that cushioning as well as a really lightweight package. It's a very tight fitting race type upper, very breathable. It's a very stiff shoe as well. The carbon plate in this shoe is very stiff. You get a lot of propulsion, the combination of this foam and the plate. Also, the difference between the Edge Paris and the Sky Paris is the positioning of the carbon plate in the shoe. This one being the Edge, you can see where the seam goes here. The carbon plate dips down in the front of the shoe, so it comes down low. So that's more similar to the plate design you'd find in like the Nike Vaporfly. And then with the Sky Paris, the plate is more flat. It comes up higher here, so there's actually more foam underneath the plate, whereas the plate dips down further under the shoe. So the idea here is this is supposed to kind of promote that forward propulsion, get you up on your toes faster. So if someone runs with more of a cadence style when they up their speed, this is supposed to work better for you, whereas the Sky works better for a stride runner if you have more of a longer bounding type stride. That's what that's really designed for. I just went for the Edge rather than the Sky because I buy all my own shoes. No one sends me anything. So I was only going to buy one of them. So I looked at some reviews and thought this one was going to work best for me. I now have 41 miles in this shoe, mostly running races. And to me, again, it is really an excellent race shoe. This shoe feels amazing at turning up the pace, that forward propulsion, the lightness of the shoe. But again, for me, it's not a marathon shoe for me. I think partly due to my size. You know, I'm 6'4", 230 pounds. I might be actually closer to 225 now. I think I've lost a couple pounds in my marathon training. So that's moving in the right direction a little bit. But with this shoe, it's very, very narrow in the midfoot and heel. And me being a larger, heavier runner, I feel like I struggle with really narrow shoes where they kind of want to wobble on me. I need a little bit more support in the heel of the shoe there. So actually I have the Chicago Marathon coming up in just a couple weeks now. So I'm going to start tapering a little bit, doing a little bit less mileage, which I'll appreciate because I've had some tough weeks lately. But I actually have a new addition that I've been going back and forth which shoe I'm going to wear for the Chicago Marathon. And what's old is new again. All the way in the top there, I got a new colorway of the longest name shoe, the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro 3. One of the other viewers of this channel commented, you know, have you thought about using the Adios Pro 3 for the marathon? Because I know you like that shoe. And that was actually, I used a different version of it for the New York City Marathon 2 years ago, which was where I really felt like I was in the best shape I ever was for running a marathon, but it was just so hot and humid that day, I wasn't able to perform. But that shoe was really forgiving to me. It fits me well. It's very stable as well in the heel. I don't suffer from overpronation in that shoe. I did a video actually where I went to get a running gait analysis, and the Adios Pro 3 did the best job of preventing overpronation for me. So in a super shoe, I know I'm very comfortable in that shoe. It can go long miles. It's got propulsiveness, and I was kind of going between these two shoes. I really wanted it to be this one because this is the fastest shoe, but I'm just concerned about that firmness and the narrowness for that long of a race. I think later in the race I'd be regretting it if I picked this shoe. So for 5Ks and 10Ks, this is my champion right now. But I was like, all right, how about the Puma there? It's a little bit softer than this shoe, a little bit more compliant, but it's also on the narrow side, and it's also not as propulsive. It really doesn't feel that explosive. It's a super comfortable shoe, but it's nowhere near as fast as this one. Then I was looking at the Saucony Pro 4 there, and that's more stable than both of these shoes. It also is a little bit more comfortable, but also just doesn't feel that fast. And I kind of had the same thing with the New Balance, the SE Elite V4. I was hoping that kind of might hopefully bridge the gap between all these, but that one's just kind of a squishy training marshmallow to me. It's a super comfortable shoe. It is stable, but I just feel like I sink into that foam too much, so it's great for long runs. I think I put over 50 miles on that shoe already just in marathon training, but I wouldn't pull it out for race day. It's the heaviest of all of these shoes. So again, I think if someone was trying to run slower than 3:30, like a 3:30 marathon, a 4-hour marathon or more, that's a super comfortable, compliant, soft shoe. But to me, it just doesn't have the edge for race day. So it actually, what's old is new again. I'm coming back to the Adios Pro 3. And right after I got that shoe, I got it at 50% off, which is the reason why I bought it. Because my other model has like 120 miles on it. So I didn't want to bring those out for a marathon. I wanted a fresher shoe. But the minute I bought that shoe, I saw that the Adios Pro 4 is now finally out, except it looks like it's not going to be available to the public until maybe early 2025. So I won't be able to get a pair of those. I am very curious about the Adios Pro 4. I'll definitely get it when it's available to the public, but I am not a running influencer that anybody cares is here. I don't have enough subscribers that I get sent anything. So if you enjoy my content and you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can actually have a legitimate channel here at some point. I did want to mention one other thing on this video, just something to promote if you're looking for something like this and haven't found what you're looking for. I know myself, running races, I don't like putting safety pins through my expensive running shirts. I still don't understand how a tank top costs $90 from Nike. Really? Doesn't even have sleeves. How's it $90? So I only buy that stuff on sale, but even so, I don't like putting holes in my, technical fiber clothing. So I've always been looking for things to use to hold bibs on rather than safety pin. In the past, I did use ones that used magnets, but those are super annoying when you're putting them on. You're trying to get the bib in the right place, and it you're putting it under the shirt and it's sticking and falling. I actually had in a race, one of them fell off and went like under a car, and then I lost it and never found it again. So I really didn't like the magnet ones. And what kind of I came across one day is bib boards. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with these, but these are basically like little clips where it has like almost a little piece there that just pushes into your shirt, and you put this on the back and it just holds it nice and tight. So it feels like nothing against your skin. There's no like rubbing or chafing. It stays on. I've never had these fall off. It's lightweight and no nonsense just putting these on. They also come in a bunch of different colors with like sayings on them and things like that. So I'll put a link in the description. I have like a coupon code if you want to pick up a pair of these, get a discount on them. But I use these for every race. They come in a bunch of colors. These ones look like carbon fiber. So if you're geek like me and you want to have more carbon fiber, you can put carbon fiber on your bib, even though it's made of plastic. But they also have ones with different kind of sayings for like Disney runs and drinking and tacos and all that stuff. So let me know in the comments what you think about the Edge Paris, if you've run in this shoe, Sky Paris as well, what your top carbon shoes are right now. If you have a marathon coming up, what's going to be your choice and why? For me, I'm kind of always looking for a combination of comfort, speed, propulsiveness, and stability. And all these shoes kind of do one of those things well, or a couple of those things well, but kind of have something missing. So I think for my running style, my size, the Adios Pro 3 is still the best one for me, even though I've tried all these new shoes. So we'll see how that goes for me in Chicago, but I'm hoping that I do not have a snowstorm or a tornado or some other natural event that's going to inhibit my ability to put down a good race that day. So fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.